Hello and welcome. I'm here to tell you about a musical called REDITUS, which I've described as a magical musical for young performers set in the present day and AD 79 Pompeii. The story, the script and the music are by me, Al Hodgson. So firstly, here is a quick synopsis. It's another long and drawn-out day for 5 archaeologists working on their early autumn dig in Pompeii. New discoveries are thin on the ground, and everyone is getting a little impatient. Well, almost everyone. Mick is the lead archaeologist and general brains of the operation. He has many years of experience, an addiction to jelly babies, and is well known for his colourful choice of comfy jumpers. However, all is set to change once they make their discovery of a lifetime. While excavating in Pompeii, they unearth a mysterious deity in the form of a dog. Soon, the archaeological team find themselves on an epic and exciting adventure as they are transported back in time to AD 79. They befriend a local family, play cricket, meet a very angry-looking volcano, and then must use their wits and experience to try to find a way home. The story is educational, with numerous real historical nuggets of information embedded within the musical. The script is regularly interspersed with humour, as well as an occasional dusting of pumice pathos. Let's look at the cast. Mick, he's the lead archaeologist and all-round historical whiz when it comes to Pompeii. He very much likes jelly babies. Anthony, Claudia, Camilla and Phil. This group of 4 individuals are archaeology students from university on work experience. Then we have the family Keniogius. I'll explain more about this group of individuals later on. There are 13 main speaking parts, with more than 50 lines which can be shared around for tourists, narrators and citizens of Pompeii. Let's start with scene 1. The stage is in darkness. The scraping of trowels is all that can be heard. As the lights come up, we see 4 people on their hands and knees digging away. A 5th person is clearly overseeing their progress. They are archaeologists, and their trench is encircled by health and safety tape. A group of eager tourists with phones poised are gathered round, hoping to see something special. The rest of the stage is littered with ancient walls and pillars. Each wall and pillar has graffiti on view. Things like, "If anyone does not believe in Venus, they should gaze at my girlfriend. Romula hung out here with Staphylos. A small problem gets larger if you ignore it." Incidentally, these are all real graffiti examples from the site of Pompeii. During scene 1, the protagonists dig, eat jelly babies, and eventually find both a selection of Roman coins and a calendar. We then move into song 1, Layers of Our Lives.
See how they dig, how they brush, how they scrape, looking for what
they keep digging, and by the end of the song, they have made their big discovery. It's a statue of a dog bearing an incantation. The dog's name is REDITUS, and they decide to read the incantation. REDITUS, inseribitur me, nasum tangere pedes per forminis, ite in domum suam. This roughly translates as, "Call me REDITUS, touch my nose, touch my feet, through the hole travel home." By touching the statue of REDITUS and reading the inscription out loud, they inadvertently invoke an ancient spell and are instantaneously transported back to 79 AD. In scene 2, the archaeologists find themselves in a bustling square in Pompeii. They look out of place and need to blend in with the locals pronto. Luckily, they have the coins they found in scene 1, so they buy some clothes from the fullery. They soon learn that urine is used to dye clothing, and their clothes are a bit ripe. Cue song 2, A Whiff of Trouble.
A whiff of trouble. Maybe it's a gas that fills the air. There's a whiff
In scene 3, we meet the family Keniogius. They're a funny lot. Sambuca, Dionysus, he's the father. He plays various musical instruments really badly. The mother is Vesta Minerva. She reads tea leaves, looks into the future, knows all about the gods. Her great-great-grandmother was a sorceress and a witch. Padius, Mercurius, is a son. He's very sporty, always trying to sell his latest sporting invention, Cicadae. Isidorus Photius is a daughter. She's always dancing and known for her adventurous choice of hair colour. Magnus Alexander is a son. He's continually eating and working out. A health nut who wants to be a soldier and see the world. Calliope Musaeus, a daughter, very brainy, excels in all things academic, but in fact really wants to be a singer. Ziona Epicurianus, she's a daughter and keen to be a philosopher, always uttering deep and meaningful New Age quotes that don't really mean anything. Carolus Magna, the grandmother, slightly bonkers grandmother who, like her daughter and mother, can see the future and exhibit magical powers. Her speciality is reading tea leaves and haruspicy. She is a haruspex. You can learn what haruspicy is when you read the script in full. In scene 4, Camilla and Claudia have gone off hunting for REDITUS. How hard can it be to find the dog? They dug it up, so they know where it is. We then discover that the home of cricket is not Lord's, but is in fact Pompeii. Magnus and Padius are playing a game of their own invention that broadly looks like modern-day cricket. With the aid of a musical underscore, called The Ashes, Mick and Phil make a few suggestions, teach Magnus and Padius some good cricketing technique, and by the end we have fully fledged cricket. As the song ends, the reality that REDITUS has not been found starts to cause worry for our archaeologists. They didn't find their easy ticket home. Instead, they discovered a map. After some good old-fashioned sleuthing, they work out that the map has an anagram hidden in the border. In the fringe of the map, there are two words repeated again and again, tempore detrusi, which roughly translates as, I pushed through time. And detrusi is an anagram of REDITUS. Surely now they are close to finding their way home. In scene 5, the hunt for REDITUS begins in earnest, but first we hear the epic tale of how REDITUS came to be. There are many ways this part of the production could be managed. As the story is told, you could go to blackout and then support the telling of the story with silhouettes, mime, or freezes. I'm sure directors will have other ideas too. During the scene, the search begins as the cast sings song for REDITUS. Claudia raises the thorny issue of the moral dilemma as to whether the archaeologists should interfere with history and tell their new friends what is about to happen to Pompeii. The scene concludes with Song 5, Deadly Dilemma. As this song ends, we hear a commotion of something being knocked over. Has someone been secretly listening to the conversation between Claudia and Mick? After a blackout, we hear the Keniogius family making a few confessions of their own. They knew all along that the map was not a map, but part of the spellbook used to create REDITUS's special powers. They did not know if it was safe to trust the visitors from a land far away. They handed over REDITUS to the archaeologists. They read the incantation and are transported back home. As they travel through time, Ziona utters her last mystical comment. The hour of departure has arrived, and we go our separate ways. I to die, and you to live. Which of these two is better is only known to the gods. We start the final scene, scene 6, with a reprise of both the opening song, Layers of Our Lives, and the first scene itself. The archaeologists are in exactly the same positions as they were at the start of the production. This time, however, they dig up a few unusual anomalies, such as a discarded packet of jelly babies lying amongst the 2,000-year-old stratigraphy, leading them to realise, despite their best efforts to dismiss their adventure as a dream, it was in fact real. Thank you for listening. If you would like more information, contact me here.